When reading up on Huawei, the Chinese tech conglomerate, one thing really struck me. So you have to understand that Huawei is an extremely successful company. And yes, it's state influenced. If you just read the biography, it becomes pretty clear because the number 2 is from Chinese state security, right? So whatever China is telling us that they are not influenced by the state or anything, that's not true, right? So don't believe that. But something I found extremely interesting about the company is that while they were growing, they were very successful in the products they built. At some point of time, they ran into a problem, and that is they did not know how to manage a ginormous corporation. And growing and scaling companies is actually much more difficult than we often believe in the West, because we always have these stories of Google, Facebook, one guy dropping out of college and then suddenly it's a multinational, massive corporation worth trillions. And we think it's normal, but it's really not. Just the organizational hurdles, never mind the market stuff, never mind the organizational stuff. Sorry, the technological stuff, the product stuff, just the organizational stuff, it is mind-bending. It is mind-boggling to do that. And Huawei, they did something very interesting. At some point of time, they decided they did not want to take the risk. They did not want to make all the mistakes in the book again after Western corporations had already done them. And so they decided to hire several teams of IBM consultants, not to help them with the technology, not to help them with their marketing, but actually help them become a professional large corporation. And those teams they cost a fortune, right? They were charging an hour what normally is being charged in a day by a lot of consultants. And they stayed for more than 10 years because what they had to teach Huawei was very valuable. And we can see in the results today, because Huawei is a successful multinational corporation, that it actually worked out. And so if you think about growing a company to a massive size, please keep in mind that it's actually difficult to scale organizations. And that even Huawei, with all the support of the Chinese state that they had, and they did have that, don't believe the hype, they did have the massive state support, they still needed to pay an American corporation to teach them for over 10 years with several teams on how to run such a large organization professionally.